We cannot deny it. The facts speak for themselves. We're dealing here with demons. I identify those who planned, thought up, and then actually carried out these crimes with Satan.
In August 2005 in northern Italy, the trial began of 5 young people accused of a series of brutal ritualistic murders. The bodies of 4 victims have already been unearthed, and they're suspected of further crimes.
Since the very first moment we understood this was the most ferocious crime in the last 50 years in Italy. No apparent motive. We don't know how and why. We don't know why. The presence of Satan.
The parents of the victims have learned that their children had been drawn into a satanic sect.
We have suffered. We have sunk into the abyss, into the depths of hell.
And the parents have also had to accept that something as simple as the music their children listen to may have led them to their deaths.
These are normal families. These are normal families. So this thing could happen to anybody.
Not for the first time, extreme heavy metal music and its preoccupations with violence and Satanism has found itself in the dock. Infliction are a well-known band on the Milan metal scene. They've been recording and gigging for nearly 10 years, playing a type of heavy metal music called death metal. Like many bands, they got together when they were teenagers. Back in 1996, they were looking for a bass player.
We met Fabio in 96? 96. Through our former bass player. He seemed to be the right kind of person for us. So we said, hey, come and gig with us.
14-year-old Fabio Tollis soon became the lead singer of Infliction, as well as the bassist. And like most parents, Fabio's father, Michele, was not sure quite how to react.
To be honest, it was just noise to me. I wouldn't let them practice here at home, so they used to practice in the garage or in the basement. Anyway, I have to say that they were good. In their crowd, some of the young girls got really worked up about it, shouting, Fabio. Of course, we were pleased, very pleased.
I'm glad Fabio was part of this. The start of our career was based on him.
As the driving force behind Infliction, Fabio was beginning to influence the band's musical direction.
Classic heavy metal, Iron Maiden, Ozzy, that was our passion. With Fabio, our music was a bit more brutal. We were finding our way, and he used to listen to a more brutal style.
Fabio's biggest musical influence was Florida death metal band DEICIDE. And his hero was their frontman, Glen Benton.
Ever since I was a little kid, my aunt used to call me evil little bastard. That's just been my persona since I was a little kid. And I can't get rid of it.
DEICIDE were among the pioneers of death metal, which emerged in the late 1980s. A faster, harder version of traditional heavy metal.
The term heavy metal, described bands like Black Sabbath and, Zeppelin and stuff like that. And for me, growing up, we wanted to outdo that stuff, be heavier than that. And that was why, there was no such thing as death metal when we started writing this stuff.
Fuck you, and when Satan rules this world!
As well as Deicide, bands like Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, and Autopsy pushed heavy metal to new extremes. Their lyrics often dealt with demons, sexual violence, mutilation, and necrophilia. Deicide specialized in the occult. Glen Benton is a self-professed Satanist, to the point of having an upside-down cross branded into his forehead.
I'm not going to deny what I am. You know, people want me to deny, oh, hey, I believe in what I believe in, okay? If Satan came down right now and God was in there, you know, it's like God's over here and Satan's over here, I can tell you right now, I want to go where all my friends are going, and they ain't going with this guy.
One song in particular has become Deicide's trademark anthem.
I want to dedicate this one to all your moms and dads and great-grandmams and all that shit. It's called Kill the Christians.
I hear the chorus comes to me first, and that's the first thing came to me was Kill the Christian.
Not surprisingly, Kill the Christians didn't play well in Middle America. Over the years, Deicide have been accused of inciting teenagers to commit violence.
Do I want people to go out and kill Christians on my behalf? No. No. Hate them, yes. Kill them when the time is right.
Fabio's lyrics mirrored the bands he listened to.
His lyrics were about the occult, but also about dreams. It was all just for effect, not something to be taken seriously.
Rebellion, you know? It's all about rebellion for kids. I like the fact that it pissed my mom and dad off, the music I listened to. I remember my dad coming home from work one day, and I was listening to the SOD album. I was like 16, 17 years, I was like 17 years old. And the song Pussy Whipped was on. And the chorus goes, pussy whipped, don't you know you're pussy whipped? And I remember my dad coming home, what the fuck is this pussy whip shit? Turn it off, turn it off. And I think a lot of it is the same thing, you know? You know, when mom and dads come home from work and they got me in the room going, kill the Christians, and all the other shit, you know, it pisses moms and dads off. And kids like to rebel.
For Fabio Tollis, like any teenager, rebellion meant increasingly staying out late and drinking with his friends.
At 13 or 14, he was still a child and stayed at home in the evenings. After he started with this music, we were more or less obliged to let him have a bit more freedom. He started going out on Saturdays to his usual places, like the Midnight Pub.
The Midnight Pub is the center of the metal scene in Milan. At the Midnight, Fabio was now meeting a new group of friends outside his band Infliction. These were people that his parents didn't know so well, many of them older than Fabio. Through them, Fabio became involved in another band. He set up Ferocity with a boy called Mario Maccione.
We said, let's form a band in the style of Deicide.